In 2026, the meat aisle has become a battlefield of biological deception. As prices for premium cuts reach historic highs, major processors have turned to a practice known as reconstruction, where scraps, connective tissue, and industrial enzymes are used to create what looks like a single steak. While labels boldly claim 100% beef or 100% meat, they often exploit a massive USDA loophole. These claims only refer to the source of the protein, not the integrity of the cut. In reality, what you are buying may be a chemical mosaic of low-grade trimmings held together by meat glue. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. Here is how 7 brands and categories are misleading buyers in 2026. 1. The meat glue filet, transglutaminase. The verdict, transglutaminase, or meat glue, is the industry's dirtiest secret in 2026. This enzyme allows processors to take cheap stew meat and scraps, sprinkle them with a bonding agent, and press them into a mold to create a perfect-looking filet mignon. While the USDA requires these products to be labeled as formed or reconstituted, these disclosures are often buried in tiny print or omitted entirely by third-party restaurant suppliers. In 2026, the risk is more than financial. When small scraps are glued together, the surface bacteria, like E. coli, are pushed into the center of the meat. If you cook a glued steak rare, you are essentially eating raw surface bacteria that has been trapped in the middle of your fillet. 2. 100% beef frozen patties, the trim loophole. The verdict, in 2026, several major frozen burger brands are under fire for using finely textured beef while still using a 100% beef label. Under USDA regulations, 100% beef means no non-beef fillers like soy or cellulose, but it allows for an unlimited amount of beef trimmings and partially defatted chopped beef. Brands like Bubba Burger have launched transparency campaigns to warn consumers that competitors' 100% beef labels often mask a slurry of high-fat scraps and trim that lacks the nutritional density of a whole cut like chuck or sirloin. You aren't eating a burger, you're eating the industrial leftovers of the slaughterhouse floor. 3. No preservative rotisserie chickens. The verdict, in early 2026, a landmark class action lawsuit hit Costco, Kirkland's Signature, over their famous rotisserie chickens. While advertised as having no preservatives, the lawsuit alleges the use of sodium phosphate and carrageenan to maintain moisture and extend shelf life. Sodium phosphate is a functional additive that keeps the meat from drying out under heat lamps, but it is technically a chemical preservative. For the health-conscious buyer in 2026, the no preservative claim is a marketing scam designed to mask a product that has been heavily injected with brine and industrial stabilizers to keep it juicy for hours. 4. The product of USA origin scam. The verdict, until the final enforcement of new rules in January 2026, a major origin scam allowed multinational corporations like JBS and Tyson to import beef from South America, repackage it in a U.S. facility, and slap a product of USA label on it. Even in 2026, origin laundering persists. While a new USDA rule now mandates that product of USA means the animal was born, raised, slaughtered, and processed in the States, many brands are still clearing out old stock or using vague, processed in the USA labels to confuse buyers. This allows brands to charge a USA premium for lower quality, imported meat that bypasses American environmental standards. 5. Fresh poultry that was previously frozen. The verdict, the USDA allows poultry to be labeled fresh as long as its internal temperature has never dropped below 26 degrees Fahrenheit. However, in 2026, many fresh brands are selling meat that has been held in a deep chill state for weeks. While not technically frozen, which occurs at 0 degrees Fahrenheit, this meat has undergone significant cellular damage. When you thaw it at home, the moisture leaks out, leaving you with a dry, rubbery texture. This is a texture scam. You are paying for the price of fresh, never frozen chicken, but receiving a product that has been chemically and thermally aged to the point of degradation. 6. Nitrate-free bacon, the celery powder trick. The verdict: walking down the 2026 grocery aisle, you will see dozens of natural bacon brands claiming to be uncured or no nitrates added. This is a linguistic scam. These brands simply replace synthetic sodium nitrate with celery powder or sea salt, which are naturally high in nitrates. Once processed, the chemical result in your body is identical. By labeling it un. 7. Alternative protein adulteration. The verdict: in 2026, as the hybrid meat market grows, blending real meat with plant-based fillers, a new form of economically motivated adulteration has emerged. Budget meat brands are being caught bulking their ground meats with pea protein or soy without proper disclosure on the front of the pack. They hide behind the 100% real meat claim by arguing that the meat portion is 100% real, while the fillers are listed in the fine print on the back. This dilution scam allows brands to maintain high profit margins while providing significantly less animal protein than the consumer expects from a meat product. The meat industry in 2026 is a masterclass in regulatory gymnastics. As we've seen with transglutaminase and the celery powder trick, a label can be 100% legally accurate while being 100% intentionally misleading. The 100% meat claim has become a shield for brands to hide the use of scraps, binders, and deep chill aging. For the modern consumer, the only way to avoid these scams is to move away from processed and reconstituted products. In 2026, the gold standard for meat safety isn't a natural label. It is transparency of cut. If the brand won't tell you the specific muscle, like chuck, round, or brisket, the meat came from, it's likely because they don't want you to know what's actually being held together by the glue. The meat industry in 2026 is a masterclass in regulatory gymnastics, where a label can be 100% legally accurate while being 100% intentionally misleading. As we have seen with transglutaminase and the celery powder trick, the 100% meat claim has transitioned from a mark of quality to a shield for industrial efficiency. By exploiting loopholes that allow for reconstructed cuts and natural chemical equivalents, brands are effectively charging a premium for the clever use of scraps and stabilizers. For the 2026 consumer, this biological deception means that the burden of verification has shifted entirely onto the individual. You are no longer just buying a meal. You are navigating a complex landscape of enzymes, provenance fraud, and deep chill preservation. Ultimately, the gold standard for meat safety in this era is no longer found in a natural or uncured sticker, but in source transparency. The rise of AI-driven document fraud and cattle laundering makes physical verification and third-party certifications, like AWA or AGA, more critical than ever. To protect your family's health and your wallet, the best strategy in 2026 is to favor whole muscle cuts over ground or formed products and to build direct relationships with local producers. When the industry uses meat glue to mask the truth, the only antidote is a return to a food system where the integrity of the cut is as visible as the label itself.